Hi, Lights Out family. Welcome to episode 3 of the Out There podcast. Same thing today. We have myself, KK, with Sonia, with Cici,
Hello.
and a special guest, Yat.
Hi.
Yeah, we will talk. Let Yat introduce himself in a later on. But first, let me share a video. Today we'll talk a lot about Urbex, scary urban exploration, and what did people discover during their journey into the unknown. So first, a narration from me. It's called Stranger in the Tunnel. Stranger in the Tunnel. This is a true story from a Reddit user, Saw Risted, whom I will narrate the story as. There's an abandoned and boarded up World War II fort in the southern part of Belgium that we often sneak into with the scouts. Getting in there requires scaling of a sheer wall where we placed anchoring points for ropes and climbing gear. Next to it was a relatively busy road, so you have to be very quiet, making no light and covering every time a car passes by so he doesn't spot you in his lights. The moment you enter it, it's like diving into water. Sound stops, and the entire place is at a constant 14 degrees Celsius with a slight breeze passing through. The tunnel is barely large enough for me to pass through without turning my body sideways. The tunnel is just high enough to work up a decent gate while hunched over. If someone ahead of you blocks a passage for a moment, the breeze stops and it feels like the entire tunnel network takes a breath. Because of the way the tunnels are constructed, they echo in such a way that your footsteps seems to be coming from behind you. They also seems to take one step more than you do when you stop. Of course, we don't allow the guys and the girls to take any source of light in there, so it's pretty scary overall. So this fateful day, I was in there, posted at the side passage to ensure everyone takes the same path and doesn't get lost. I went in first before any of the climbers arrived, so they did not know there were friendly faces in there to help them. I was in there for a while, just waiting for the first to come by, when I saw a dancing little light coming down the long hallway. I quietly settled back into my nook and waited for whoever was smart enough to hide some matches and take them away. The light quietly bobbed closer when I realized there weren't any footsteps accompanying it. I poked my head around the corner just in time to see it disappear. I hear no footsteps still. I settled back and waited some more when I realized I do hear some scuffling. Very faint breathing noise. I became aware of a wet heat coming from right in front of me with a faint smell of someone. Could it be sweat or even smell of dirt? Suddenly, I realized it was someone there, right in front of me, inches from my face. Suddenly, the breathing stopped. Whatever it was, my presence had been spotted. Whatever or whoever it was, we were both holding our breath, both acutely aware of each other. It took ages. I was sitting there, unable to move, speak, or breathe properly. The smell soon passed some minutes later, and I became aware of a very faint light coming from my right side, which soon dissipated and left. Sometime later still, I heard the familiar stomping of combat boots coming down the hallway from my left. I stopped the person, telling them to keep following the passageway and take the first right they came to. Out of curiosity, I asked, "Who came in first?"
Huh?
He responded.
Go on. I was the first to come in.
The end. And we are back. So this story from Belgium. It's about, I think it's a club, some sort of school club that they explore some tunnels from World War II. So and this guy experienced something like he's been into the tunnel so many times, but it's the first time he experienced somebody there, but he cannot explain who was it and what is it. So what do you guys think about this story? It's not local, it's a European kind of thing. Gigi?
Yeah.
So have you been to any tunnels with light turned off altogether? You
So
can only
far,
hear your breathing.
so far whenever you go to any tunnel, there's no light also. Baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can only hear your own footsteps.
Yes.
Uh,
And only a silhouette from
uh,
each other, because when we are in the darkness, our eyes will tend to
right.
adjust with all the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Any any memorable one where you like smell something really bad or
Smell is normal to me lah.
it's always bad lah. Sonia,
Hmm.
how about
We
you?
were recently in tunnels when we were in Gili Trawangan, and
Really,
that's in Lombok. We went in search of
Japanese.
the Japanese tunnels, and that was from World War II. But going back to the story that you mentioned earlier, now Belgium was involved in two wars, World War One as
Mm-hmm.
well as World War Two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to note that there are clubs, because I'm not surprised that there are clubs of people who are interested in it, because they have loads of structures for people
Yeah.
to go explore. They have the history to support it.
Yes.
So, having said that, when he mentioned that he was the first one in, he didn't think there was anybody else in there. No, if it's such a large community, the possibility is that somebody else could have been present.
Ah. So you think it's a person,
Well, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying that I can explain it,
but
right?
no footsteps.
He could walk very quietly.
Oh, okay, ninja. Okay, yeah. How
Yeah.
about you?
Hmm.
You have any experience with tunnel exploration?
Uh, yes, but to be physical about it, like I smell, see, or hear anything, is not actually a normal occurrence lah. I mean,
Mm,
usually when I go into tunnels or places of history in general, I always like imagine how the people who used to inhabit those spaces live or move around. So it
mm.
all plays in my mind. Like I visually picture it in my mind how the soldiers move. Yeah. So
Ah, okay.
sometimes when the places are more eerie, I think that would be a normal thing that it might translate
Mm,
into physical realm because it's already in the mind.
mm,
Mm, yeah.
okay. Interesting. So this is, I don't think it's like a sewage tunnel. I think it's more of a war. As it's mentioned, it's a World War II fort. So it's
Mm,
like what we
It,
have at Labrador
it
Park and all this.
casemates. It
yes.
could also
Mm,
be tunnels that join areas, different areas, right? They would be transportation tunnels. There are all sorts of reasons to have those tunnels.
yeah. I
And then,
I.
then
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned that ball of light.
Mm,
A lot of these tunnels trap gas. Now, if we talk about mining tunnels, right? You know how
mm.
in the olden days, before they had those gas meters and stuff, they would bring a canary down in a cage,
Oh, okay.
and if the canary dies, then obviously the concentration of toxic gas is too high in the air, it kills the bird. Therefore, it's not safe for the miners. So I'm just wondering, I'm not saying it's the
Mm,
gospel truth. What I
mm,
am saying is, could it have been a possibility of gases that were
mm.
alight?
Flammable.
Very,
Mm.
very, very similar to swamp gas. You know how methane
Ah,
builds up from decomposing matter in the swamps and stuff. And then occasionally you do see these balls of light. So
yeah.
I'm just wondering, could it be?
Possible.
You know
Possible.
me, I will
Yeah.
always fall back to science first before we, have no other choice than fall back upon the
It's a
other realm.
situation we will not be able to see in this part of the world, I think. Yeah. Something
Quite,
more
quite.
European. But mining, sometimes we don't know what is constituted within the landscape,
Mining
right?
in Malaysia, in
Mm,
Indonesia, yes, but not so much here in Singapore. Though in our
mm,
experience, yeah,
mhm,
Chichi and myself, we have been to tunnels in Singapore, and I'm not just talking about the
mm.
military installations like casemates. We have been in other types of tunnels,
Oh,
right?
right.
And then we cannot say more than that.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of this. Later when we share one of Yard's story, the more I read, the more what he did is actually quite illegal.
Hey, you're not supposed to say it.
But okay, never mind. Anyway, let's formally introduce Yat, who is part of the Weekend Wanderers. Maybe Yat
I
can give us a brief introduction of how long you have been doing urban exploration and how you get to join up with Cici and Sonia.
okay, my exploration experience is not that very long. It probably started like after I was about to finish my uni, so there's a lot of free time, and because I like history and photography so much, right? So like, okay, like one day I just decided to go like everybody's probably first place Istana Woodneuk to take a look at the place. Then at that
Sorry,
time when I
where is it again?
Istana Woodneuk.
Oh, no, no, okay, okay.
Yeah. So back then when I first started out, phones didn't really have good cameras.
Mm,
I didn't have any photography equipment also. So I went there
mm,
just to explore the place, to
mm,
just like look around. Until one day I decided like I should start documenting all these places that I go.
mm,
So from then on I like uh be more interested into looking at details of space of a
mm,
place.
mm,
Just document everything I can in my own photography way. Yeah, so
mm,
that's how it all started and bloom until this day. Yeah.
mm.
So if you look at my photos, they are kind of very documentative and a bit
All right.
aesthetic in a way, but not so much that I edit so much of the image lah that it looks different from what it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I met Sonia and Chichi, okay, this one I think it was during COVID lah, because yeah, there's nothing much to do also. Then like I went out alone. So the story begins, I actually met Sonia first. It was in 2021. So I was actually coincidentally the first meetup with Sonia was we were looking for a tunnel.
Sorry,
Yes.
coincidence. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the story is that I was heading one direction and I saw Sonia coming in from another direction. Then like I see this
Inside the
woman
tunnel or outside?
outside the tunnel. We were still looking for
Oh,
the tunnel. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So I was like walking, then I see like, hey, this woman like familiar only, They're very adventurous. Then I went to ask her, are you looking for the tunnel? Then she said yes. Then I told her the tunnel is out ahead, not the other way around. Then yeah, then I think we walked together to find the tunnel, and we made
Mm,
our first discovery together at that particular tunnel. And that's also where like I started doing my photography things,
mm.
and that's the start of
Common
our
interest.
friendship and photography interest together.
Mm. Yeah.
Then with
So,
yeah yeah
And with
no,
Chichi.
then
go
with
ahead.
Chichi
Mm.
was different. We started talking on Facebook. I was just browsing Facebook this one day. Then I see like,
Mm.
hey, this uncle Then this uncle like very paranormal like that. Then I
Mm,
scroll some more.
yeah.
Then I see, oh, he's not that uncle He's actually
All right.
quite
Yeah.
man only like not old Yeah.
Ouch.
then
Okay.
then I like talk to him more about the places he
Mm,
went, then the places that I discovered. Then we somehow bonded that way through online first.
mm.
Then on one occasion, I think it was an outing with Sonia that Chichi was there,
Ah,
and that's where the
the dots connected.
yeah, the dots connected and the friendship
Mm.
actually bonded all of us together.
I think it's fate, man.
Yeah, actually the name Weekend Wanderer was what I named myself, just Weekend
Mm.
Wanderer singular.
Mm.
Then because of that outing, right, every weekend we went out together, so like,
Yes.
might as well add the S and call us that, so it's easier to like find a group chat or something like that. Yeah, so we become Weekend Wanderers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we got the origin of the Weekend Wanderers. Now we know why we have Weekend Wanderers. What a
Yes.
nice name. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
it
went
made
out on
sense, right?
weekends.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
We at that time we only went out on weekends because during COVID I was working every like 4 days out of the week,
Ah,
so couldn't really uh, go out. All of us had work, so it
mm.
was mostly on the
Hmm.
weekends that we could go do what we enjoyed.
But
Yeah.
speaking of when we talk about COVID, is after the circuit breaker or during the circuit breaker?
I think
It's
for, it's
it's
throughout.
like, yeah, I think it's
Throughout.
overlap. It started with the, the 2-person maximum, that kind of thing. Then
Mm,
Yeah.
five, yeah. So we slowly just, as the measurements, not the measurement, as the COVID measures, right?
mm, mm.
Laxed, and there are more people that can join a group. So we added, like, first I met Sonia, then after that is Cici, then after that Akida. So it expanded as the measures also laxed.
But don't you miss those days when
Yeah, man.
everywhere is not so crowded?
Yeah, and it's like so much easier to go around.
It's like the whole Singapore, you're looking at Singapore with another pair of eyes. A landscape that you never imagined that you will see ever.
No,
Yeah,
some of these places were already known to people like
No,
Yes.
but
Chichi, people like myself,
right.
who were already in that, just not as much as during COVID. Because when you can't travel, and then
Uh,
there's nothing else much to do, and at that time, if you remember correctly, we were only allowed to walk, cycle, do that kind of a
mm,
thing. Even
mm,
going into the malls were restricted, like the number
yes.
of people,
Yeah.
what odd days and even days, that sort of a thing. So a lot of people turned inward, people like me who cannot travel anymore, who
Mm,
cannot do all these things overseas anymore, then you turn inward. But
mm.
some of these trails, it's not that we don't know, it's just we didn't do it as much because our focus was abroad,
All
not
right.
local.
Yeah, but
And it
Chichi
forced
did.
a lot of people. But yeah, go ahead, Chichi.
Chichi did mention that during COVID, that's where a lot of these groups start to prop up over,
Yeah.
and also because of the availability of the gadgets. We're not talking even about paranormal exploration, but normal urbex. I think it's through that time when a lot, and as you said, people are free and nothing to do. The backside itchy, they have to go outside, and lucky I'm not like that. I got kids, lah. I got kids, so I I cannot.
I don't have.
I also have kids,
No, but
what?
my kids are small. And my kids are small. All right. Uh, we have two IG story that shared with me. Very very creepy. Let me share the first one. We can see the video first, then we have maybe Sonia or Yat or even Chichi can give us a bit of background of this particular place. Yeah, let me share first. Huh? We're back. So a little background. Maybe Yat can give us a little background. What is this exploration at and what happened?
okay. So that time was the 7 Luna month in 2020. I think I was from somewhere, and just so happened the bus that I took went towards the direction of Istana Woodneuk. So like, okay lah, like, there's nothing to do, then I alighted at the bus stop and just went to Istana Woodneuk all alone in full civilian attire. It's just like it's just like when someone wants to go shopping mall, I go explore abandoned house. Yeah. So I just went in just to like take a look how it is now, because I think the last time I went there was 2017. So 3 years difference, just to like check out how it looks like now. So I just went in and I walk around, nothing much, because it's still quite hot at that time. It's like 4 5 p.m. So the sun is still shining bright. So like until I reached this one spot in the video. Then I felt like, why got the feeling of crowdedness? Like there's a lot of people around the area. So I took out my phone, took IG story, just walked down that alley, and the footsteps heard is my only footstep. Then towards the end, I felt like there's even more people. Yeah, it's the feeling of crowded, like you're in pasar malam like that. So as I took the video, I just walked straight through. I never hear anything. All I heard was my footsteps walking down. So I walked through all the way to the end. I stopped recording. Then on that same spot where I stopped walking, I wanted to post. I just played the video once lah to see how my recording was, whether I managed to record anything or not. Then true enough, when I was just typing captions, right, then I heard like the laughter. Then I look around me, there's nobody. There's no sight of people, no sound of people, and I went in alone. And that laughter was like somebody having fun, like yeah, like a happy ghost or just laughing at me lah. But I'm not sure lah
Sounds
because
sounds like
yeah,
me actually.
yeah, it's like it's like somebody just laugh for no reason. That's also Sonia lah. She laugh for no reason so sometimes. Yeah.
I,
So I was
oh,
like, wow, that's damn cool, man. Then I started
but
looking around, taking
you're still
photos.
at Woodneuk when you listen back to your video.
Yeah, I was there. Usually, when I take IG stories of a place, I post
Uh,
it immediately as I can because I don't want to lose
right.
the video. So yeah, I was at the end point there. I posted it. Then I heard the sound. Then I look around. Now nobody. Right. I start taking pictures, hoping to like get something in my camera lah, in my photos. End up nothing. So that's the one of the rare gem that I managed to record something on my phone.
You were hoping to catch something.
I wasn't.
And you did.
I just wanted to like record the whole experience of that alley because it's quite cool, and the feeling
Ah,
also like sense very different. So like okay lah, might as well just take. And true enough, there was something there lah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
but by the way, the alley that Ian walk through, there's a story also on it because on the right hand corner towards the room itself, that's where people do a lot of Satanism.
oh,
Yeah,
oh. So this is the first floor, right? Okay.
first one.
Anyway, for people who let's give a little background of where is this Istana Woodneuk. It is at
Tyrosol.
Tyrosol.
Tyrosol
Tyrosol.
Parasol.
Road, and it's near Botanical Garden, and it is a property of the Sultan of Johor. It's a
That's
state
right.
land of Johor. It's not
It
Singapore
still
land.
it still belongs to them.
Yeah. So now the whole place is barricaded up. Even on Google Map, it said restricted land.
Restricted, yes, but boarded up, no.
Oh no, huh? Okay lah.
No.
Mm.
I mean, it's in Wikipedia lah. That one, the information may be a bit outdated, but a lot of people. If you go on YouTube, you type Istana Woodneuk, there are plenty of YouTube video of people going. Usually daytime lah, because at night really hard to see anything also. Then yeah, then it's a two-story building. The ground floor there's like servant room and whatever,
Yeah.
and then yeah, the second floor some all broken down already if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
The stat yeah. So a lot of people have mentioned about creepy stories of this place. Yeah. So Chichi, what you make of that laughter at the end?
It could be the sound of the other realms
Mm-hmm.
because that place is really for me. It's a bit on the chart. Is for me 7. It's over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where a lot of people who do as a paranormal, we mostly go there to do some what they call it,
Like
pemujaan.
open portal.
Yeah, some kind of
Yeah,
opening portal.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that could be a resident spirit. Maybe not, but for the 7 month where you mentioned that you feel, I believe there is. But on the contrary, um, in Chinese belief, right, that month is where they go and feed on the offerings. That place got no offering, ma. So why do the the spirits want to gather there. That's a curious part. So it might be a more of those that belong to the place. I feel, yeah.
because
Uh,
it's known to have portals open in
mm,
Woodneuk, so
mm,
probably the gateway is also there for them to come out during 7 months.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, and
yeah.
if you go like recently, I think one of the rooms had joss papers, so it's
Yeah.
like they really want to evoke the spirits out, so they make offerings. So now more will be coming, and since there's a portal there, so it's like explained why the place is so crowded as I felt it lah. Yeah.
Mm, interesting. I mean, even not lunar 7 month. I think the place is scary enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you all already talk about the fact that it has protection from
No.
uh, uh what? Sorry, I was cut out, and then when I
Uh,
joined back in, what did I miss?
oh, Chichi was mentioning that the he believed that the laughter really belongs to
Yeah.
because the place that people are practicing black magic or some kind of opening up portal to the other world. So maybe spirits are commuting within this portal. Yeah,
Mm.
or
I mean,
maybe not even um, kind spirits. It could be something different, right?
all right.
Yeah.
Yes, when you go there is a lot of evidence of Satanism. You will see pentagrams on the ground
Mm,
and stuff. So yes, exactly what he said about portals being open, and then perhaps conduits for spirits and stuff, and that might have been what Yat heard. Now, the place was built in the 1930s, so it's been around a long time,
mm-hmm.
right? And because it belongs to the Johor royal family, there is also rumor that it has the protection of jinn, right? It has the protection of jinn. Now, the amazing thing about Woodneuk is as you are walking in, it could be bright, hot, sunny, but
Uh,
as soon as you approach the structure or go closer to it, there is a darkness about the
Yeah.
place. Like suddenly it's really dark and
I think we
um,
experienced that a few times also.
yes, it's super hot, sunny just outside. Then at the minute you enter the building, only it's very dark and oppressive and foreboding on the inside. It totally does not match outside.
Yeah.
So that is another physical manifestation of what I believe to be the protection that the
mm,
place receives. And Yat has shared one occurrence. All of us have had some sort of experience there.
maybe some short recount of what has happened before at
Uh,
Woonok.
Chichi, what have you experienced there?
No, no. For me, if I go to that place, I only interested in two places only. The place
Mm-hmm.
with Satanism and the alley behind below the staircase.
The what
The
below the
room, the
staircase?
room, the room
The
below the
alley.
staircase. There's a room
Oh,
below the staircase. A
mm,
storage
mm,
room, I think. Uh,
uh,
that's the most that I'm attracted to.
because you
And
feel some.
rightfully so, because many of these times we are there together. I mean, he's been there many, many times, but there have been occasions where we are together, and for me, it isn't a particular spot, but things have happened in different parts of the
The
building.
house.
That yeah, and of the house because of its history. So earlier you were talking about the history of it. At one time, it also served as a hospital
Yes.
Oh,
during during the
oh,
war. So in places like that, there is a concentration of negative energy
mm,
already.
mm,
So maybe that's why it attracts so many practitioners and so many believers,
mm.
as they go in search. And you will see people walking around with some instruments and some equipment.
So yeah, that day when you went, you are sure you are alone. I mean, there wasn't any other explorers at
Yeah,
there.
there wasn't any. I surveyed the first floor, then I went up the second floor. And the funny thing, at that time the grand stairways was still
It goes up.
Intact.
intact. Yeah.
A bit intact.
So I went up the stairs. I didn't feel anything until when I was about to reach the top. heard footsteps going up the stairs with me. So I think the thing is just like following me around as well. So, but at that point, I'm more interested in architecture of the place. So I more focused on taking photos rather than the ghost. So they didn't really bother me, and I don't bother them. I just walk around, and there was really nobody at all. It was zero at that time. I think it was 5 to 6 already. I was in there for like 4 to 6, 2 hours, just walking around taking photos all alone. Nobody went in. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
There's this signature blue roof. Is it still
The
there?
tile, yes.
The
Yeah.
type.
It's no more roof. The
There's no
roof
more roof, but the
entirely
town is
collapsed.
still.
Fire. So there was a fire at Istana Woodneuk, and
Mm.
it is said and rumored to have been caused by drug addicts.
Drug addicts.
Yeah. So
In
it all burned down.
the 90s or what? Um,
2006.
it's quite recent. Not
Yeah.
recent. About 20 years already.
Yeah.
18.
2006 is
Yeah.
no more recent.
Yes.
Wow.
So so the blue roof tile, and
Mm.
then in fact there was another Istana, and it had a red roof, a red roof tile or something,
Yeah.
and then it was demolished or was either
Yeah.
never completed or demolished, something like that, right?
Demolished. Yeah.
Somewhere near, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Nearby.
it's two buildings. I may lose connection again. I don't know what's wrong. My connection at home seems to be having some issues. I keep getting the message trying to
Ah.
reconnect, trying to reconnect. Reconnect to what? It's still connected on my
But
laptop.
we
What?
still saw you. Still fine.
Yeah.
But don't worry. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if I get kicked out, I'll just come back.
Come back
Then
again, yes.
yeah.
Maybe
So
we,
that's Istana Woodneuk, and why it would already feel very creepy. Firstly, because you have a lot of people practicing Satanism, and then it's known to be a creepy place, and also because of the protection that
Alright.
we believe is offered by the other side.
So do you all guys think that the Johor Sultanate will take back this place, or will they just release the land to our government?
Parts. Okay, so there is a caveat by the Singapore government over that land. They cannot sell that land to anybody else except the Singapore government.
Huh?
So yes.
Oh, you mean the Johor side cannot sell to anybody except Singapore government?
Correct, because
But they have taken a bit part of it already.
yes, for the Botanic Gardens. So it is entirely transactional. If Singapore wants part of the land, they have to buy it from
Okay.
the Johor Sultanate. And then if the Johor royal family wants to sell any part of that land, because they are legally owners of that land, they can only sell it to the Singapore government, which is extremely smart of the Singapore government, because that land is worth millions and millions
Of course,
and millions
yeah,
of dollars.
yeah.
Yes.
If you like that location, if you build a hotel,
Condo,
yeah,
luxury,
condo
housing
will
and
be,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's a very large plot of land. The
Yeah.
Botanic Gardens itself is, I think, 82 hectares, and 1 hectare is 2.5 football fields. So that gives you an idea of how large the Botanic Gardens is, and the land that's just sitting beside the Botanic Gardens, that entire swath is owned by the Sultan.
Wow.
The
Because
Sultan
last
and
time
his
I
family.
used to go in there to the main gate of Istana Woodneuk. But now the main gate is already no more being taken over by Singapore Botanic Garden.
Oh, there was a. Did they refurbish the gate to something or
Nope.
something?
I'm still searching for
They
it.
had. Was it a grand kind of European
No,
style gate?
it's just the pillar is very big, quite big. The pillar of the gate.
Wow. Okay, maybe I'll go and search for
Because
some picture.
I have the pictures of the bolak. They call it the bolak of the
Or the gate,
gate.
the
On the
gate
gate.
pillar or something.
Yeah, the gate pillar. I still have the picture of
You
it.
can share
Yeah.
with me if you can
Yeah,
find it.
you don't need Google. You have Gigi.
Because the first time I went there is at 2008.
After the fire.
When the place is not much of graffiti. It's very clean.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah. I think the exploration and the infamy start to come within the last decade or so. I don't think we are
No,
so.
it was it. You see, there have been a lot of urbexes in Singapore. People like Chichi
Mm,
and stuff have been doing this a long time, but we did not have smartphones back then, so it was a
ah,
lot harder to document. But
yes, that's right.
whatever pictures they do have, it was still film photography.
Yeah, lah,
So, and
but
also you have to remember there was no social media last time, so there's nowhere to put it, nowhere to showcase it. Now
I mean,
there is a huge
we have
prolif.
our own blog,
Yeah,
correct.
blog
but it's it,
forum.
like forums, right? You were saying
Yeah,
like forums, but it's not as easy as it is now. The proliferation of this type of activity is huge and massive now because there's a platform for it and there are ways of documenting it, which was not so accessible then.
and I think now this is easier because of Google Map. We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
find
yeah.
easily. Last time we have to
Like,
bring all the state director book, see
like if
where
I'm
to
a
book.
young person, I just happened to stumble into Yat's IG story. Say, oh,
Mm,
where's this place in Singapore? It's like, then, people will start to, I think it's, as you mentioned in the past, maybe when early 2000 or maybe in late 90s or what, only the people who really do urban exploration will know of these places, right? But with all these IG and TikTok, then more and more young people, then now, as you said, people start to come in and start not to give respect to the place itself.
But
Don't know what they're doing.
there are problems that come with that because they it all starts with a curiosity. I'm not saying curiosity is
Mm,
wrong, but if
mm,
you don't go with the correct people, you don't do your research. This brings us back to the last episode where we spoke about the dangers of urbexing and of
mm,
acting on very little information. All you have is an idea of where it is, and then you just pick up and you go. And I'm a little bit more worried about the younger set.
mm,
Now, just recently, Chichi and I were in a patch of forest looking for something. We found it because we've been before, but we came across people who were looking for the same thing and
mm.
they were lost. They had no clue where this thing was. They had no idea about its history. They just knew there is something there in that jungle and we want to see it. Like, but you have no idea exactly where it is. You don't know what it's about.
I
You know,
think that's the same thing I mentioned. Like, for example, like looking at Yard's video, you just walk in the place. Imagine it's daylight and the ground is all littered with whatever debris. You know, what if it's at night with not much light? You stumble and you fall. You also don't know. You know.
yeah,
That,
I
no,
mean,
no,
the
even
dangers are real.
the place that yet the video is around. I think a lot of people get lost also to find the place. They will just go in, they come out, cannot find.
I'm not surprised at all.
Until they bump into me and Chichi lah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Next video. How? This one very clear, right?
I can hear someone calling yet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, yeah. Can you give us the recount of what happened and where's this place?
For this one is the Mandai Green Hut. It's no longer there.
Hmm.
And at this point when I was taking that video, I so called wanted to like show myself climbing up. But then
Hmm.
as I was about to climb up, I couldn't find my leg didn't sync with the with the camera, so I like missed the step. That's why the camera like pointing down. But at that point also, I didn't hear anything. I was all alone, just like taking videos of the place. Then when the video of that particular part where I missed the step, right? Then like okay, this one I wanted to delete, but I replayed the video. Then I heard the name being called Hidayat. Then just nice at that point, the camera was showing inside the building, inside the hut.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like got something inside. I must go up. So I after that I went up lah. I didn't take video because it's so hard. But when I went in, it felt like it was occupied. Like it was somebody living there. Like when you go somewhere that has been lived before, then you feel that energy of or presence is the same thing. Then but because you can see all four corners of the hut from where I stood, right, There was absolutely nothing. Nobody, no animal, but there was a feeling of presence that somebody is living there. Yeah. I was like, interesting. Maybe can come at night.
Okay. So same thing. You were there. You replay the video. You hear the somebody call your name. Nobody there, and you still went up to the hut itself.
Yeah, I went up. I went up to look inside. I take a video, take pictures. Nothing there. And
Mm.
when I wanted to go down, yeah, when I turned my back, I wanted to go down. Right, really can feel somebody inside, but I just
Wow.
cannot see. But good thing I cannot see because it's probably like looking at me straight back. Like, why is this guy at my home?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's why. Then like, okay lah. I say bye bye. Then I go down.
But do you say like excuse me or sorry for disturbing yourself
I
in
say my
English?
favorite line. I say my favorite line. I would say Assalamualaikum.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So everywhere I go now, if it's a hole, I will say Assalamualaikum. Cici
Mm.
would know. Yeah.
Mm.
If, no matter got ghost, got snake or what, I just say the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
lah. So yeah. But Cici always laugh at me lah.
It's a
Mm.
greeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's an
it's
Islamic
just
greeting.
yeah. Wherever there's the living or dead, it's a kind of greeting. I think it's very
I
normal
think it's
to
respectful. I don't think
yes.
there's
Yes.
anything. Yeah.
But the funny thing
Nothing.
is, I said the same thing at Bukit Brown Cemetery.
Or where the more Chinese, huh?
Yeah. I mean, like, it just
Eh,
automatically happened to me to say it. Yeah. I mean no harm. I just say,
Alright.
yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
setting your intention before you go into any of these buildings
Correct.
or even
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
forest. You set. Oh, Chichi doesn't. I do. I set my intention. I make it known the
Mm.
intention that I am there. I'm not here to change anything or to disrupt or to remove. I am just passing through. So I think it's important to set your intention. It keeps
Mm-hmm.
you focused on what you are there to do,
Mm.
and in his case it's really respectful. This
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely, I can't find any fault with
But
that.
he felt that there's somebody living there who are actually looking at him.
The place, a little
Yeah.
bit of
So he
history about the place, and it's
yes.
it
Let's.
goes
This one I
it
really
goes
don't know about this. The history of this place.
okay, so where it is situated was and still is army, near army training ground. Let's just put it that way, okay?
Mm.
It's very near army training ground, and there used to be settlements in those areas, rubber plantations, any sort of cultivation of that time. So this is easily before Singapore's independence. So before 1965, we're looking at 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s even. So the green hut could possibly have been someone's home, and there still are remnants of settlement in there. You will see foundations of houses, pig pens, that sort of a thing, all pointing to the fact that there were settlements on the inside before. So the green hut was said to have been a place where durian pickers in the later
Right.
years would gather and seek refuge as they wait for durian to fall. But during the COVID years, when everybody was out hiking, would go visit this place, and then our authorities got sick and tired of people walking in there, and then they just took it away. So they take away what people are going in for, therefore people cannot go lah. So it's gone.
You
But
mean the authority took away the green hut?
they demolished it.
They
They
want
It's
demolished,
not
yeah.
there
to
anymore.
prevent
But
the durian
No,
collectors
not
to.
not so much the durian collectors. The people who want to see it, the urbexers, the hikers, who would go in, because there's this during COVID, there was this craze. Everybody was looking for places to go, and the more elusive it is, the more exclusive it
Mm.
became. So every time they get a bit of information, they see somebody go, then they want that information so that they too can go visit.
Mm.
So it became almost an exodus. People from here, they all want to go there and see this thing, and then our authorities, in this case the army, our armed forces, got sick of it and demolished it.
Ah.
So it does not exist anymore.
Okay.
But what Yat experienced, I have experienced it also. Chichi, what
Mm.
did you experience there?
Me,
Somebody calling name.
If Chichi heard something, he will go and chase.
I've been there. I've been there at night. I've been there in the daytime also. But
Mm.
as usual, when think after COVID, a lot of paranormal people start to go there also. They do some tabu down there to puja. What they call puja?
Pray. Puja. Puja is the Hindi
Worship.
word for pray.
Inside the hut itself?
Conjure.
Somewhere near the okay. Yeah.
They
Oh.
they were
They
trying to conjure,
conjure.
right?
Yeah.
Not surprised.
I'm from like for me when I hear the calling of Yat's name, right? It's somehow like from behind instead of from inside the hut.
And then, I don't know whether you realize, but it is his full name, you know. We don't
Yes.
call him Hidayat. We call him
Yeah.
Yat.
Call it
We
that.
don't call
Mm.
him Hidayat. So
Yeah.
whatever it was that called him by his full name, I wonder if it knows his IC number also or not.
I think no
Maybe
more
it's
than that.
maybe it stays with me. It's inside here. Don't know where. Inside
No,
my
but
cupboard.
this one I don't feel that creepy, you know. I feel like that whoever called him maybe trying to tell him to don't go in or some kind of thing, rather than the whatever is inside that is like shouting at him.
More like a warning call. Is that what you
Mm.
mean?
Yeah, I feel it's more like a warning rather than like a
Well,
hostile kind of.
also, that whole area is heavily forested, right? And
Right.
we also know that there are things like wandering forest spirits
Mm.
that also seek refuge. Now, if this is a structure that nobody lives in, it is mostly unoccupied, then they too may have sought shelter there. And as Yat is going in, they could have warned him or tried to communicate with him. We will never know because the green hut's no longer there.
Yeah. I think it was
So it
torn
means that we have to
down.
go to Woodneuk, open up a portal, and check.
No lah, don't do that kind of thing. Got enough
But you
story.
must come. You must come on. You must come this
No,
time.
actually, for me, the Green Hut is nothing much. It's only the entrance when the trail start to enter towards the Green Hut. That's the most. I've been told by a lot of my friends that there's things that guarded the place instead of the hut itself.
Okay. It's a. But the thing is that so you're saying the settlement is still
Settlement is still there.
still there.
The
I mean,
remnants.
The
the
remnants,
remnants.
Yep.
remnants of the
Yeah.
settlement.
So it was not a place that really hinder the army exercise, right? So that's why they didn't really. They tore it down because of the explorers who come in
Yeah,
numbers.
they were just trying to prevent people from going in because you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think it might be trouble if there's anything mishap happen on the. It's a bit problematic to bring them out also.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's why they decided because they've been climbing up the hut itself.
Yeah,
So
Yat
if
was climbing
anything,
up, what? So he's one of them.
yeah, so
Yeah, as a former interior designer in training, that hut, the foundations of it, right,
Mm.
is really an accident waiting to happen.
yes.
I can see. I think
Yeah.
you were climbing.
But I climb at the support, so I know where to stand. I didn't walk
Because
in. I stay at one point only. Because
Mm-mm.
I know if
the,
I walk in one round, the thing is gonna shake. And I'm quite big and heavy, right? So that thing is just gonna collapse anytime. It's
The
not even
stairs.
like the
during
support is
COVID,
not even like pillars.
I think during COVID also, during pre-COVID or after COVID, about 30 people went up there, and then 50 people went inside the hut. It just waiting.
At one
Yeah.
time. At one time.
Yeah,
Oh
there
my
you can
goodness.
see got group pictures and all that, the way they pose on it. But with the total disregard for personal safety. And then when an accident happens, okay, and then
And they
we have
say
to
why happened to
activate
them.
SCDF, or it becomes a very big problem and an inconvenience and a nuisance to
No, but
extract these people.
looking at the hut itself, like maybe two persons, that kind of space, you know.
It's quite
Really
big.
No
like
lah, it's quite
It's
big.
quite
It's
big
quite big.
also.
was it?
Yeah. Only the support, the foundation of it is not pillar
Oh,
or anything. It's like stilts.
you move forward.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually a hut on stilts.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those kind of traditional kampong style.
Yes.
Yeah.
but even thinner than kampong style. It's like really they like chopsticks lah, basically in layman term. It's like putting a house on chopsticks. It's really very slim foundation sticks, I would say. It's not even
Do,
pillar.
do you all think this is a reconstructed instead of a original building itself?
Based on what I see, I think it's there has been some proper pillars, but it has been extracted out. So they just
Mm,
left the core structure only. It's just there for like yeah for durian people to put things for a while.
mm.
It's not people to stay and jump around or walk around in there. Yeah, it's
It's
just a
like it's
shelter.
like a temporary shelter type of thing. It was not
Yeah.
built to last, and it wasn't built to stay per se. It's just temporary shelter.
They even
Oh.
have their own well. I think they
Yes.
even have their own
Mm.
pond
Mm.
or place for them to do their business.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Mm.
was a pretty big
Or the
one.
hut itself. That is the
No,
whole
just
compound.
The whole
on
Yeah.
the
compound.
compound. On the compound.
Okay. Which belongs from way back. The pond and the well and all this. They dug
Possible
it. Yeah.
Mm.
from the
Interesting.
settlement time because there's so much evidence of the structures and what was left behind from the settlement. There's no more. The green hut was the only standing structure
Mm.
still there. Everything else was gone.
Now even the green hut also gone.
Mm.
Gone.
The
Yeah.
plank is there. The plank.
The plank
One
is there.
plank.
Yeah. So yeah, over the years, beside these two cases, do you have any because your objective was always to go and see the historical side of things.
Mm. And take
Mm.
photos.
Yeah.
So
So, but are there maybe can you share one instance beside these two that
oh,
creeps you out?
The
the
Bukit Brown.
undocumented ones,
Huh.
the Bukit Brown. Wait,
Someone gonna
which
grab.
Oh, the Bukit Brown. Bukit Brown was also I think 7 month. I think
Yeah.
yeah. So we went in a with Cici and one other guy, and then we like went to this huge tomb that the compound is big enough for us to rest around, and so
Which
we
one?
just Ong Sam
Yeah.
Leong.
Ong Sam Leong.
Yeah, the
The
front part.
largest
So
one there.
yeah, so it's very big for us to like sit and rest and like just chit chat there. So one encounter there was that this guy he's very chill and relaxed, right? He started to like lay down on the
Wow.
tile ground there lah.
What time?
Okay, then while he was chillaxing and talking, he didn't realize that his leg was near this joss paper, unburned joss paper.
Uh,
So it's like a stray one that flew while it was burning. Yeah, so he was just laying down and talking to us. Then suddenly he felt his foot being grabbed.
wow.
Yeah, then when he shined the light, right, is the joss paper over there.
Hantu was trying
Yeah,
to grab the joss paper, accidentally grabbed his
yeah,
leg.
and grab his
Uh,
leg. Yeah, then he like panic a bit. Then like we look at him, then like we laugh at him because he was like literally lying down already, like it's the beach, but it's actually a tomb.
Do you know
mm,
that there's
oh.
an interesting fact about if you ever get lost in a cemetery, the
Mm,
safest place that you can be is in the compound of a grave. That is actually the safest place for you. You ask for permission, but you
mm,
also seek shelter. And it is said
mm,
that that is the safest place. So where you all were resting and all is actually the safest place to be. If you ever lost in the cemetery and you're waiting for daylight, spend
mm.
the night in the compound where
Compound.
when the family comes to visit the grave, that's
Yeah,
where they
yeah, yeah.
sit. It
Yes.
is like the living room.
So he's
And
lying like there's a slab of the tombstone, right? Like a.
no, Ong
I
Sam
mean,
Leong
ah,
tomb area is huge. It's the size of like a 5 room flat, that entire compound. It's
oh,
the largest in all of Bukit Brown.
mm,
And the tomb shore, which is on the hill. Now, you got to face a certain way and you got to be on the highest point. Those are the best feng shui
mm,
for the
mm,
graves of that time.
mm,
And the place is so big, the compound is so huge that you can actually rest in front of it. There's a tiled area, and then there's an inner area where you perform your offerings and all that. So it's very
mm.
big. We have to bring him lah. We got to bring him
Yeah. Yes.
so
Okay.
that he
Not,
knows.
not,
And
not 7 months, not 7 months.
seven
I
month
will
is the
not.
best time.
I will not
Two more
chillax.
months. 2 more
Whatever.
months.
The 7th month is when it's the most beautiful,
Yes.
with all the
Ah,
candles, with the burning. Then it's a bit hazy, a bit dreamy. I don't find it scary. I find it very romantic.
okay. Yeah. Different people, different feel. But you were mentioning that he felt like something grabbed his leg. Like sometimes, like if like a plastic bag flew to your leg, it will feel
No.
a bit like no. Because it's a piece of just paper, right?
We try, law, shall we? Let's
No.
do it. We try with different items on your leg.
Not at the cemetery lah. Wherever else, not at the cemetery. Well, thank you so much, Yat, for all this. Let's move forward. I'll share with another video that I prepared. Okay, before we proceed, a little background of this video is that this group is from Taiwan. It's back in 2009. So this group of young people go into this abandoned, it's in Kaohsiung County. They have this abandoned tourism center. So they just like a lot of young people lah. They went in like poking fun and everything. Then when they're filming, they found some things like carcass of dog. Then some room, the door suddenly closed itself, and the biggest surprise that they found was there was skulls in this room. Then when they report to the police actually found that the skulls belongs to a couple who committed suicide there. They burned charcoal and died because they have a very strained relationship with their family who don't approve of their relationship. So this is, like whenever you stumble into some place, you really don't know what you will see. But this video, you won't see the skull, but you'll see other things. Okay, let's.
不要，好恐怖！
Okay, this is a carcass of a dog.
Yeah.
You all roughly can see
应该是被烧死。
See the bones.
the bones and everything.
臭！哎，有蛆啊！
And maggots, carcass.
你那个有蛆耶！可以那个。
Kind of vomit, man. I don't know what this.
世界上全都是蛆。
See the jaw, snout.
Nice. I would want the skull.
The dog died a long time, obviously. Decomposed until like.
Not that long ago. If there's still maggots on it,
Oh, is it?
you see, and the stench is still very strong. They're all still
Yeah,
covering there.
So these are all the like, rooms for like the tourism.
The office
Then they-
looks like offices.
Yeah. So this particular. So they go in, they never say sorry to disturb. They just like, playing a fool. And this
Yeah.
this also
video
before the
camera.
time of the social media lah. The video you can see is quite bad.
And so shaky.
Tricky, right?
Don't have any stabilizer.
The kind that give headache type.
Yeah. Okay, so what happened here is that they walk past this door. See what happened. See this balcony with the chair facing inward. So the door just slammed
Lights off.
on their face. So you can see all the doors along is open, but only that particular door they slam on their face.
好恐怖啊！疯啦，白痴！屁啦！怎么了？疯啦！
Yeah. So they was telling each other it's the wind. Then during discussion, they say the door slammed on their face and opened up again. So if it's a wind, how that the door open up again? I mean, of course, could be slammed so hard
Crosswinds and
they
drafts
rebound back,
bounce
right?
back.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean that's a possibility. But we also have to think about the fact that two people committed suicide there. When people commit suicide, why they leave such a large energy signature behind is because they have unresolved emotions and they have unresolved issues. So the spirits tend to linger around.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, that is daytime and then you've got doors slamming and stuff. What about at night?
Yeah. Yeah. You have your experience anywhere like unexplained phenomenon?
Lots.
Like doors slam. Not say you see something lah, but this kind of natural kind of hard to explain kind of situation.
Have, but why do we have to talk about it now? Talk about it next episode. Next,
Yeah.
next
So
episode.
much wealth of knowledge, so much wealth of stories to share. Okay, I think enough of sharing of the video. Maybe we can share a bit of what have just the tip of the mountain of what have you experienced at Lombok and Rinjani. Yeah? How was the trip itself? Was it?
Really?
It was a lot of things. I mean, it's a mixture of things, right? That you experienced.
It's not my first time there, so we go with Chichi first because for him it was a new place.
You mean the Rinjani part or the after Rinjani part?
Any any which one gave you the
Rinjani
most
part.
impression? The Rinjani part. Okay.
Rinjani part I cried. No
Wow.
lah.
Was it
Well,
really?
I'm a bit stunned to see the view itself when we are on top. It's
like
quite
a
nice.
volcano crater or something, right?
Yes,
So
but
itself
it's very
is a
torturous.
dormant. It's a dormant volcano.
No, it's active.
Active, but it's
Yes,
very
it is
torturous to go up to the crater. Even before started to go to the summit part already, we are being drained our energy out.
But the climb is 1 day, 1 day 1 night kind of thing, or do you all have like a rest point or something?
2 days.
2 days.
So the entire journey. This is a little bit more about the journey itself, right? The climb. Some people do 2 days 1 night. You have options. You can break it into bite-sized pieces and camp extra nights because there are campsites, there are rest points, there are checkpoints. However, the people who are short on time, who are extremely fit, you can do this in 2 days 1 night. But I don't recommend it. You do not enjoy the journey if you're just rushing up the mountain. You don't stop to appreciate the beauty, the grandeur, nothing. You're just rushing to get up to your rest point, which is the crater rim. And then at 2 a.m., you begin your summit attack. Then you come down and you make your way out. That's 2 days 1 night. We did not do that because I wanted everybody to have an immersive experience, a spiritual experience on the mountain. So, and because we went in through the Sembalun gate and came out through the Torian village, it was a 4-day, 3-night climb. So offering everyone ample rest, opportunities to take photos, to absorb and take in the entirety of that experience.
I think that's if you're not rushing for time, I think it's a.
But you should
great
never
idea.
rush these things.
Yeah.
If all you want is the summit, sure, then you rush. But you're going to miss out on so much on what the mountain truly has to offer. And then again, I'm not saying it's wrong. If you are only chasing the summit, sure, I can respect your wishes. But if it were up to me and I'm bringing a group, I would like the group to have a far deeper relationship with the experience than just the summit.
So 4 days, 3 days 4 nights. No, sorry.
4
4
days,
days 3 nights.
Yeah.
So there's like various
campsites.
camping. So for Chichi, which one When you
No,
when you're saying
I
like
prefer
really hard.
I prefer the after the Rinjani climb where we go explore at Lombok and Gili Trawangan itself. Because Gili Trawangan itself is known
Ah,
by tourists as a place where they go for diving,
ah,
snorkeling.
ah,
But for us, we will do a research, see what place is this, the history of that. Then we get to know that it's being used by Japanese, where they build a lot of tunnels. They got their
ah,
own cannon down there also.
It was used as an anti-aircraft point.
Mm.
So
ah.
they went up the hill and they had built anti-aircraft um,
Oh, fuck.
weaponry. They
Mm,
placed weapons
mm.
up there, and
So
they
a
were.
tunnel
Ayo,
all the way up the hill.
the terminology is yachts
Yeah.
arena, not
Even
mine.
the trench that they used to go through so is still there. It's beautiful.
And
Yes.
not restricted, nothing,
You
you
know,
know.
locals don't want
Go
to go up so
mm,
because they say that
Oh,
it's have you seen something?
at
they say what?
night.
Ah,
They say don't go up at night. They say the entire hill is haunted.
not surprised at all. Yeah.
And the nation and the million faces formed together, made for elevation. And the soldier won't surrender faith. Is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, lighter than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us.
But you all go on daytime lah.
We went daytime because we had to find the tunnels, right? And you're not gonna go find. So it's how we spoke about, right? Before you do any urbexing, you do research, and then you have a daytime recce because you need light to find these things, to move around and so on. But we didn't go back at night because we felt as if it was enough. What we had and what we wanted to achieve from that mission was enough. And then Gigi, you must also tell them about the is it a Kramat? The Kramat?
Yeah, the Kramat down there.
Kramat of the Saint.
I forget what his name was.
But on the side of the hill, aside from the Japanese tunnels that were higher up and the trenches, there was a Kramat of a saint. I also cannot remember the name. We can find out and tell you, and we can share later. But it was said that he shipwrecked on a different part of Gili Trawangan, and for some reason he was revered. We don't really have a lot of information about this guy except what was told to us by a local when we went to see a cannon that was brought down from the hill into the mosque. So we went to see the cannon.
Oh,
The
they
cannon-
brought down a cannon into a
No,
mosque.
the cannon I think fell off during their
Earthquake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So it was from the hill. It was stuck up in the hill. It was too big, and I think it was partially buried or something. So they
Yeah.
couldn't excavate it to bring it down until the earthquake. I think it was in 2019, 18,
18?
around that time,
Somewhere there.
2018, 2019, when the earthquake shook the cannon loose, and then they were able to bring it down, and then they put it into the mosque. So we went to see that, and I think Chichi has the interview of
Yeah.
this local man.
But
This local
the mosque is to
No.
to
No,
The Kramat. The Kramat is
Kramat
where
is
the saints' remains are, and people still go
Ah,
there to worship
to
and
worship.
not
Okay.
worship. Sorry, Kramat they don't worship. I think they pray. They go there to pray.
Hmm.
Is it? Am I right? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think. But it's this saint is from long time ago, even before the Japanese came along.
Actually,
Also not sure.
no, because there's no literature on him. It's only
Mm,
what was told to us by the
local.
local. But we went to see it. We went to see.
But
I did not feel a single thing there.
the canon got no association with the Keramat.
No,
Go
it just happens to be from the same hill.
Mm,
Yeah, like how the name Gili Trawangan even came about is interesting.
mm.
Trawangan is from the Indonesian word for tunnels,
Tunnel.
Trowong.
Rome.
Oh,
Trowong. So the island, and the island wasn't inhabited till 1975. You know,
huh?
it's not inhabited till 1975.
It was previously like a
Just an
war
island.
remnant
Yeah,
island
just
with
an island that
uh,
was uninhabited,
uh,
forested, and then the Japanese came and used it.
uh,
And what surprised me at that time was Indonesia was controlled by the Dutch. The Dutch did nothing about the Japanese coming and using one of the islands as an anti-aircraft point. They
mm,
did nothing. So the Japanese were there, and then of course when the Japanese fell, then they left. But
mm,
that island was left uninhabited
that,
until
mm.
1975.
But did you ask the local why they came over? No.
Why? Money. Everything is about commercial gain.
Tourism. Tourism.
Yes, tourism. So because the place has got beautiful, a beautiful
Oh,
shoreline, it's got dive sites. So
mm.
you have shipwrecks that you can go dive at. So
Japanese shipwreck.
yeah, it's
Oh,
highly
ship.
commercial.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of
This.
people that go to Gili Trawangan don't really know its history. They don't go climb this hill. They don't
Mm,
look for the tunnels. They
mm.
don't go to this keramat, but they do go there for its nightlife. It's known as a party island.
Ah, okay.
But of
Yeah,
course,
lot.
people like us, the weekend wanderers, we're not so much
Yeah.
into that. We want what's happening on the other side. You know,
Mm.
what's the hidden?
The history,
Yes.
it's like it's interesting, like an island that is not inhabited, but later on people start to come in, which is strange, lah. Yeah, but so the local there are more for tourism part. They are
Mm.
doing a lot of tourism things, offering the diving,
Services.
yeah,
Yeah, to support tourism on that island.
The best
and they
part is
don't.
that there's no motorized vehicle on there.
Oh, bicycle,
Horses
Bicycle.
or
Or
bicycles.
horses. Wow, interesting. I saw some of the pictures. Very
I
very
think I
interesting.
think we need to go back then because the locals also say that there's another one
Mm.
cannon that is stuck in the hill. They're still stuck in the hill. I
Then
need
you
to
want to
go
go
back
there
there
to dig it
to
out.
go there at night
Oh,
to
I think we
feel the
definitely have to plan another dark tour, and this time to Lombok as well as to Gili Trawangan. What say
Lom-
you?
Lombok. Oh, right. There's a lot of abandoned places down there.
mm.
We went to this abandoned place which is being used as a KTV.
Oh,
KTV
Then
lounge.
there's lots of room with bar, KTV room, they call it. Then
uh,
behind it, there's a room with where they showcase all the ladies.
no, no,
It's like a
I,
fish tank
a fish tank.
area.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
was
abandoned.
not happy with
Yeah,
that.
because Sonia asked me what is this benches are for.
Mm,
So
mm.
I told her that this is for
Yeah, lah, yeah.
the ladies to sit down there waiting for us.
Understandable that she doesn't know what is that place for, but do you all feel anything there in the abandoned KTV?
First we went daytime, a bit difficult,
Daytime
but
still.
to come
There
nighttime also
was
I
that
think it's
one
possible.
room. I don't know whether you remember. I told you
Mm.
there's one room that the energy was higher in that room than the rest of the rooms, and it was receding. As generally, when you approach, they recede. Generally,
Mm,
because there is no need for the two to mix. but you can feel. Like what Yat was saying earlier, he could feel that there was something in the green hut. So similarly for me, and I've gotten quite sensitive over time. So I felt it, and I told Chichi, I said, "There's something in this one."
Okay, for KTV, right, or those with hostesses, generally the Chinese belief is that to be prosperous in their trade, right, they will start to pray for certain kind of twisted. I mean, not twisted lah. The other kind of uh, deity that's not the
Deity.
conventional type. So for they will even pray for to supernatural beings to increase their popularity and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And also the place is constantly away from sunlight. KTV lah, it's always dark, right?
Dark. Yeah, it's always dark, what?
And also over the years there are a lot of stories. So when you say that you are at an abandoned KTV, it can be very very creepy. Yeah, because of a lot of things happening within and the lack
Yeah,
of
it's
sunlight.
vice. I mean, these places of vice,
Vice.
right? So places like that attract a lot of negative energy.
And this is Lombok.
This is in Lombok.
Mm.
There's a whole stretch of abandoned, I think, resort also that we didn't manage to get because lack
Not
of time.
enough. Not enough time. There's so many things to explore, but we did manage to go to an unfinished villa.
Yeah. The hunting
Where,
villa.
yes. So,
Think you all
you know,
got
in daytime, it does not look scary. It actually looks quite nice because there's a lot
nice
of beautiful graffiti on the walls.
graffiti
And
again.
yeah, but a lot of the locals go there to view the sunset. They'll go and sit there and then watch the sunset. But the caretaker, there's a caretaker of the place. He closes it at night, and he says you cannot be here after dark. And that is very shortly after the sun sets. He tells everybody that they have to leave, and he barricades it with like a long bamboo pole kind of a thing. He barricades the entrance to it, and he says that you're not allowed to stay. And we of course will ask lah, why cannot stay? There's nothing here, what? And he says, no, this place at night is a completely different.
Off limit.
Wow.
Yeah, completely
That piqued your
different.
interest more, right?
Of course, all the more I want to stay.
Yeah, I can sense it. The more
And
you
the
say
best,
no,
the best,
no,
the
no.
best part, mostly a lot of people who go there with their own transport. But for us, we just took Gojek. Then go back time also we have to wait for the Gojek, and it's totally darkness down there.
Complete dark. There's no street
light.
lights, nothing. So we're standing in the dark and we're just waiting for our car to come.
Wow. Wow.
Great
okay.
fun.
Yeah. Then maybe next time you'll go back. Hopefully got
Bring
more
you.
stories.
Bring you.
Yeah, we won't go back alone. This time we will bring you already.
Okay lah. Yeah. You know I live vicariously through your adventures as always. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Before we proceed, let's look at some of our those people who left comments on our last episode. There's Sharon Diaz 77. I think you guys
Sharon. Yeah, she's our
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah. So
What did she say?
last episode we were asking people why do they climb mountains, right? Then she said that she climbed because it gives her strength and reminds her of who she is. So I think it's quite a lot of people have the same kind of mentality. Then there's a hello from one Shimin XD. I don't know who that person is. Shimin XD.
Hello.
We all know who she is lah. Then there's at Troy Chua 1421. I think he's telling me that maybe I can soften the sound effects. It's too loud and overpowering the storytelling. So that means my storytelling is good, but too many sound effects lah. Thank you so much, Troy. I will take into
For your
consideration.
feedback, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Constructive feedback is always good.
Constructive effect, yes, that's more the merrier. Then in the active live chat, we have the likes of ZP Matt, CC Missy, Saravanan, Paris Matria Lim, Nana T, BB Babibu 1, Rich, and then especially to BD, who has a story about Ajahn Brahm and his encounter in a haunted cave in Thailand. Okay.
So many familiar names. Hello.
Very familiar names. Thank you so much for the
Thank
support.
you.
Without you guys, I think it's. I mean, we will still tell stories, but it's for all of you guys. Okay, before we end, let's share some news that I've prepared. Share the screen, huh?
We should mention the upcoming July trip.
Oh, July trip, because I mean it's still open. Yeah. We have the Bali trip, 5th July to 10th July. Uh, it's about experiencing whatever you hear today. I think it's a few times more, right? Yeah, yeah. So I'll be at the hotel, you know, as
That's not
a
what you signed up for.
Alright. But
So
anyway, yeah,
if anybody wants to join, it's still open.
it's still
What we
open.
will be doing is looking at the less touristy side of Bali. We will have the guidance of a Balian who is a local practitioner, and we will be visiting a few places with heavier energies, do some investigation, do some rituals even maybe. But we'll see when we get there. Let's not divulge too much. But if anybody else is interested, please ask about it, and we will share more
Yes,
information.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Share email us. I will share the email. Let Joe know. Yeah. Hey.
What other news do we have?
Yeah. Okay, this one is the big news on the 21st of May. Okay, for you guys who take aeroplane, especially I'm one of my greatest fear in life is to experience turbulence, and this is the worst of all. So, SQ321 flight back from London to Singapore experienced turbulence. One British man passed away. Rest in peace. And I think still a lot of people suffering critically.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, a lot of people start seeking treatment for fear of flying. So Sonia did share with us of you were mentioning you experienced some severe turbulence before with
Oh
your
yes,
family.
many. I mean, as often as I fly. So for people that are my friends or who follow me, you all see that I spend a lot of
Mm.
time in the air,
Yeah.
getting from place to place. So turbulence is actually quite common,
Yes.
right? Even as an aeroplane flies through a cloud, you will experience some shakes.
Mm.
What they experience, of course, with the severe turbulence, I mean, unfortunately, and I feel sorry for the people that suffered in any way and form, but it is quite common. And during one of our flights as a family, this was somewhere to Indonesia or back from Indonesia, and
Mm.
it was either AirAsia or Jetstar. It was one of the budget airlines, and I had the children with me, and we hit some severe turbulence as well as a sudden drop, and we could feel as if we were free falling.
Wow.
I grabbed the children because it's not for myself that I fear. I fear for the kids because their lives are so short. They have yet to experience the fullness of this life. So I don't. If you go, you go. That is my philosophy. You can't prevent it. You can't prevent it. If it's your time, it's your time. But for the children, I felt fear.
Yeah.
Fear of them missing out. So yeah, it's not going to stop me from flying. That's
That's
for
for
sure.
sure, because Singapore uh, so small. We need
Yes.
to go outside of Singapore,
Yes.
unless you can take boats.
Boats
You
or
have
drive. And
you
then
have
speaking of which, tonight we are about to embark on something. So,
mm,
please follow all the different socials. And, if you want to see what it is that we get up to and not wait for the show,
mm.
please by all means,
Yeah,
you're
later
welcome
throughout the show
to
we
follow us.
will show all the social media. Please follow Sonia, Cici. Mine not so active lah. Okay.
After Bali, there'll be more to post.
More.
Follow
So
yacht,
this,
follow yacht
this
too.
oh yes, I will share yachts for as well. The photographs also very spectacular. Okay, this case, this lady wear helmet on the after the turbulence, a bit over, but I can understand. Okay, beside turbulence, recently there are some airline. Oh yeah, so a few days after the SQ, Qatar Airlines also have one case where 12 people got injured from Dubai to Dublin. Then in Turkey Airline one flight attendant breaks her back within a week. So things come in three lah, as they all say. Yep. More airlines issue. Holiday makers at 52 degrees Celsius heat on plane. Like, imagine you are waiting to take a flight, then the aircon's. Imagine you're in a car, in a jam, then the aircon spoiled. This is much worse. So, I don't hope this on anybody. But this is not the same case. It's one day later, another case in Athens, also same thing. The aircon breakdown, the passengers pass out.
Are you talking about all this to frighten me?
Uh, also tell myself lah to prepare for all kind of situations lah. Because I haven't fly for a while, so you know.
Horror, the horrors. What you're doing is you're compiling the horrors of flying.
Actually, no aircon is fine lah. It's just bothersome, that's all. Yeah, but yeah, turbulence hard to say lah. Okay. Hey, this story about, I don't know if you guys heard about this guy in Utah in November 2009. He died while trying to climb in this cavern known as the. He died in this way, you know.
2009, John Jones was exploring the Nutty Putty Cave, and he decided he wanted to go through one of the tightest stretches. He noticed it was really tight, but he read about this part of the cave, and he knew that if he just kept persisting, he would safely get through. The only problem is that John had taken a wrong turn and was actually in a different, uncharted part of the cave. This stretch was so tight that John became stuck upside down. After a 27-hour rescue attempt, he eventually passed away. The cave was permanently sealed to serve as John's tomb.
Yeah.
He climbed into this place he called the birth canal. I don't know why you want to do that. In the first place, it's already very difficult to. Then he got stuck. Then people managed to try to excavate him out, but I read through the thing is like during the process, a lot of the rescuers themselves got injured. Then he still show concern to these people who try to rescue, but in the end he got stuck too much, and he passed away lah because of shortage of air.
Suffocation, is it? Yeah.
For this one, I think he cannot go back, as in turning back
Reverse
by
out, ah.
moving reverse out.
No. It's like I don't know. It's like sometimes
So
you
he trying to find another way out by going deeper and deeper again, and
He
that's
thought
why
that-
he
yeah,
fell off
yeah,
the
yes.
cable.
he thought that if he climbed deeper and deeper, maybe it open up. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys have any fear of a bit like
Small
claustrophobia?
spaces.
Yeah, small space.
Nope.
I don't think I can do it. I have a slight claustrophobia. I will get panic. Then even worse. In this case, you really have to keep yourself cool, right? But it's a sad case lah. But he went to do it himself, so he half expected it. Same thing in Utah recently. There's this lady hiker, 19-year-old girl. She brought her dog to go for a walk. Then she was filming herself at the river. Then she got swept by undercurrent. Then the part is that the people not say rescue her. They found the dog and they found the filming of the video. Then they realized that she was been. So we mentioned before, when you go out, then
Always let
You-
somebody else know where you are, what you're doing.
yeah. But in this case, I don't know. It's like underlying danger lah. Like the undercurrent of the place. But so yeah, do you think you will like go to a big body of water? In your case, I don't think you will lah.
depends if the escapability is
Ah,
high,
ah,
then I would go lah and try. But
ah.
usually, like if I see from a mile away there is danger, I probably say a big no already.
But for water, it's really hard to tell,
Yeah,
because you don't know
for
about undercurrent.
correct. That's why
Ah.
like if I go water, I usually at the side first. I don't go straight to the deep end.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
I look at some of your profile. You also a avid diver.
Oh no, not diver. That one snorkeling only.
Oh,
That one
snorkeling
super
only.
simple. Yeah, super
Ah,
simple can lah. If
That's good.
dive cannot lah.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you have the interest there, lah.
Yeah, yeah. I got
Mm.
interest in everywhere. It's just waiting to be tapped.
Ah, okay. Well, what's so funny is it makes sense, right? Everybody have an unexplored kind of interest. Okay. And Chichi, remember this one? We're talking about this place in the foot of Mount Fuji. They barricade
Mm.
up.
Yep.
So,
The
so
barricade
they
another one. I
they
think
barricade. Then the people go and poke hole at this
yep.
barricaded. Now they have to pull up one. So I'm thinking why they don't just on the floor. Okay. They also don't want to ostracize the tourists lah. Japan is now experiencing a bit of like conundrum. They want
Yep.
the tourists, but they don't want to alienate them. But the tourists are really. When I read this, I realize why they, because they are standing at the middle of the road.
Correct. It's dangerous for
Ah,
them.
yeah,
For
the
the safety
traffic,
lah.
the traffic is in both way, such disruptive. But the view is damn nice lah.
I think they're
Hey,
blocking another place also. The
oh,
bridge.
is it
Yep.
around this place?
Somewhere near there.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. Lastly, have you guys seen this fireball over Singapore?
Sonia, should talk about the fireball.
I think it was
Saw
quite active in the
something.
social media a few weeks ago.
This is not what I saw, but for the very first time in my
Mm.
life, right? I'm such a science person and I try and explain things with logic, but
Mm-hmm.
with my own eyes,
Uh-huh.
I
What
have
happened?
finally seen something that I cannot explain and I
Explain.
cannot dispute.
Okay, we'll hold that for another time. Let's keep it. Let's keep the audience wanting more. Okay, that's all the news segment we have for this episode. All right. So we come to the end of the show. Let's share some of the recent activities you're all going to embark with or share with us your social media. Let's start with yeah.
Mm. About to embark with about to
Mm,
embark in a few hours.
mm,
Yeah, going somewhere that
mm,
is my core interest,
mm-hmm.
World War Two related.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yes. So
So
I'm not, as you all know, I'm not a mountain person. So
mm,
if it's mountain, it's probably I'm not there.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
If it's World War Two, then I'm there. Yeah.
Okay, so I will share. So is yours is IG mainly lah.
Oh yeah. I'm mostly on IG. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, I'll share the social handler. Chichi,
Mhm.
Yep.
any same thing lah. The World War Two thing coming up.
Yeah. Then
Mm.
we might be doing a vaccine in the place that is being barricaded.
Okay, okay, yeah. Any idea where is Chichi coming back?
You,
Oh, but
I,
you must go
I,
alone lah. That's the thing.
yeah lah. Soon lah. Soon see how lah. Huh?
Mm.
A bit busy with
Actually,
my work lah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially we have this trip coming up also. Okay, Sonia, how about you?
Well,
Next.
as usual, we have our calendar for the year is pretty much set. There are many different trips, different types of trips. My philosophy on adventure has always been that it's a mindset and it's how you approach life. You approach life adventurously through all these different activities. So we have many that are coming up. The nearest one would
That's
be
Bali.
sorry.
Bali?
But yeah, Bali is one. But we're also climbing
Huh?
Merbabu, which
Yep.
is in Jogja, and then we have day trips once a month to Malaysian uh, uh, smaller peaks because we believe in starting small and then graduating to the bigger, more difficult climbs. And it's also part of the training. So the calendar is full. We have a Telegram group where you can find all this information, and I hope that we are able to share it. And then, of course, my
Yes.
social media is where some of it is shared. I have several platforms, and we can share that.
Mm,
And then I am waiting for the Where's Chichi show to come back, even though I'm not allowed out there with
yeah.
him. I say he,
Yeah.
he looks
At
looks
this point,
elsewhere.
we know already. We are
Eh,
being.
eh, eh.
Yeah, but as you mentioned about the Telegram group, it's true. Like even like Yat, he mentioned that he's interested in the World War II kind of thing. If you're interested in more of the climbing the mountains, or
Different
urbex, different
experiences, yes.
experience, there's a lot that people can just. Not everybody will like everything. You might like something, or maybe you got experience one, maybe you like it, or maybe you don't.
Yeah. But
So
we want to
you,
be able to offer people these options. That's why there's such an array of offerings. I mean, the
mm,
different types of trips. So
yes,
even things like urbexing, right? We're coming up with these things. We're doing already the dark tour. There will
mm,
be more.
yeah.
So, you know,
But
please
for
do.
you guys, if there are people who are interested to join, they are welcome lah.
Yes, they are.
Uh, just if people are interested to join somehow more on the urban side, they want to see abandoned KTV or
Oh, yes. Yeah. So again, because there are different types of tours or different types of activities, there is something for everyone, right? It's not necessarily if you join the group, you have to go for a climb. No, there are different
yeah,
types of
yeah, true, yeah,
adventures. And
everything
something that will appeal to
to everybody.
everyone,
Mm,
something for someone.
yeah. But no KTV, actual KTV hangout. No, we're not that kind of group.
Oi,
Not
I pull your ears.
not siam diu for life, that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, we're at the end of.
Corinne, he said he want to go KTV.
She know that I don't go. If I go, I also won't open one bottle. Anyway, we are at the end of episode 3 of out there. Uh, as usual, I'll share my tagline: "Don't be square, get out there." Okay, Chichi, don't be square, get out there. Get
It's
some
actually
sun.
quite good. It's
Yeah,
actually
Chichi,
quite good.
how about a tagline? I
Oh,
can't see. I can see. They cannot see me, but I can see them. Right?
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yeah.
you can't
Even
see me, but I can see you.
but even like if you go to Woodneuk, if you tell me that, I also gets very scary. Also, I can't see them, but you could see them. Sonia still nothing.
I would say get out.
Get out. Yes, get out. Yeah. Thank you so much
Get
for joining
out.
us. Please feel free to join us if you have any experience or more stories to share. No need to be supernatural lah. Just but our platform is generally supernatural lah. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, but it crossed lah, the thing crossed. So thank you very much, everybody. See you all
Thank
next
you.
one. I think the next one most likely we will film in Bali.
Mm.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye. Take care. See you yet.